Well guys, we decided to shoot a video today, and we're into a little bit of a problem here.
Yeah, so we were doing a few things. We were building a jump. We were doing some draggy times. Well, before we got to the draggy times.
You were doing some donuts.
Doing some donuts, feeling the power. You know, now we've got this big turbo on here. But anyways, it didn't work out too well. You might be able to see. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, pick that wire up if you can. If you look right in there.
Yeah, tube, if you roll the tire, you'll see it bounce.
Yeah, you can see it. So you guys can see the tube there for the motor mount. We ended up breaking.
We'll do this.
Yeah, you can see it. Oh yeah, she's flexing real good there.
So needless to say, we were out here ripping around, and the machine started running like crap. Couldn't figure it out. Well, needless to say, 2 times out here, the spark plug in this cylinder popped off twice, and the heat shield over the turbo's all bent. We couldn't figure it out. So needless to say, I looked at the engine mount. The engine mount was causing it up to come up to here and grab a hold of the wire and pull the wire off. So then it started running like crap. But I never put 2 and 2 together. We just did the turbo, so it doesn't have a lot of time on it. But
all that horsepower though broke you a motor mount.
yeah, it's the first. I mean, I'm not even the person that should be breaking a motor mount. It should be you. But we were out.
So yeah, we were out there romping around a little bit. You could see the whole engine, you know, twisting back and forth as you would go to load it up. Yeah, you can even see it right there. Yep. So we're gonna have to figure this whole remedy out. So if you guys see this footage, we probably figured it out, and this will be your intro. All right, Tim, what are we out here doing today?
You know, just solving some problems. But I don't know, 2 months ago, broke a stock motor mount right after we did the big turbo, and
all that power.
Yeah, all that power. But anyways, I welded the stock one back together to get us by, so we can keep shooting different videos, and I can pull it in and out of here without smacking the turbo against the airbox, you know, stuff like that. So if you look in here, you can see it's welded right there along the back seam where the bolts line up.
Yep.
You see that?
Right there, yep.
Okay, so I did that, and it's held up, and we've beat it a few times since then.
Yeah, just small rides.
And I guess before this, you guys seen the cage and everything else get done. All that's done, but it's ripped apart again.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and do a Sandcraft motor mount bar and motor mounts.
Yep.
So that's 2 motor mounts and a transmission mount. And we're going to go ahead and install those today. But we figured while we're here, we're going to go ahead and walk around and show you the different things that's going on with the machine since the last time you've seen it.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start off with the front.
All right. And the front's not completely done yet, but you'll see what's going on. So that is a 2020 Turbo S fascia. And I haven't got the other fang light in. It's sitting over there on a box. But 2020 grill, fascia. I'm waiting on the other piece that adapts. This comes off and adapts my hood to this front piece. It should be here in the next couple days. That's getting painted. Mm-hmm. I have the winch cover that goes behind my bumper, which kind of buttons things up and makes it look more finished. That is here. I got that now.
Yeah, we'll be doing updates too as the videos keep rolling.
You see there's no fender flares on this thing.
Yep.
There are fender flares, front and rear, both sides.
Yeah, so initially he just did the front fascia, and then he was talking about doing the fender flares, so He liked the fascia so much that he said, you know, I'm just going to keep it rolling.
I don't think you can see it. It takes the perfect light, but it is a very dark black. But if you look at it just right, it's got a blue metallic in it, which looks really cool. I mean, it's really hard to see.
Yeah, it's hard to see in here, yeah.
Crap, but so the fender flares are gone. They're getting painted. The rear taillight housing, I really liked the Turbo S rear taillight housing, but I didn't do it. I went ahead and just took mine off, stripped everything out of it, and I'm having that, the fender flares, the winch piece, and a couple other pieces painted to match that black, to where the whole exterior of my machine basically is shiny. You know, other than the inside of the bed will still be the OEM plastic. But that's gone to paint right now. Mike, the guy we use his field, and go test in and trying to build something over there. He's my painter, so he's painting that. He's painted a lot of stuff for me in the past. He does a really good job. So that's where we're at with that. But on another note, I did get this nice axial fire extinguisher you guys haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Got a nice
little pull handle on there.
Pull handle.
Okay.
But yeah, we still got some things going on with this. What else we got going on?
I think that's it. So we're going to go ahead and cut to the unboxing now.
Yeah.
And we'll show you guys that.
All right, guys. So here's this Sandcraft box. I know how you guys are in opening boxes. You guys really like that stuff.
It drives Tim crazy to sit on a box.
I can't sit around on a box for too long. So most of the time it's a good idea for Will to just keep them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm his storage. That's all right though.
Wow. Peanuts. So. Oh. Pretty nice.
Well, yeah, they're heavy duty. Look at those.
I don't know what that's made out of. Let's see. Motor mount kit. 16 to 20 XP turbo. 18 something. Okay, so there's that.
Most likely your bar. Yeah.
You got your scale with you?
No.
Oh, man.
I had one over here the other day. You still got it?
Oh, no, the one you bought and returned?
Hey, man, that's just me going out of my way for the audience.
We normally got a scale, but he got a new truck, so not everything's in there.
I'm sure it's going to be beefier than stock, but obviously stock didn't hold up. It broke, so.
All right, well, you get the gist. So what I do notice right away is that these end caps on factory is just like spot weld, spot weld, spot weld, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it might sleeve into the tube a little bit, but it's really only just held on with 3 spots. Other than that, I mean, it still looks like a OEM bolt-in. I can't really tell. It's been 2 months since I held the other one. I guess we'll tell you that. I think there's another piece, unless it's in there. It might be in there. Yeah, it must be. Thought there was another piece to this, but I could be wrong. It's a rock solid bushing. Pretty lightweight. So these got M's on the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, here's the transmission one.
So that should be all of them.
Yeah, no, I thought there was. It could have been an add-on or something like that. But there's 2 plates that are on the motor and transmission. So basically, on the motor side, it looks like this too. And then there's 2 plates that go over this and sandwich those, the motor and the bar together. And they sell upgraded ones of that too, but
Okay.
don't look like it's in here. But I thought it might have come with it. Who's to say? But that's where we're at here. So we'll go ahead and show you how to take that stock one out and figure out how to get the new one in. Because I mean, that was the first time I pulled one of these bars. Wasn't too big of a deal. But we're going to go ahead and get started with that. All right, guys, so I had some like 3/8 plastic that I just stuff underneath the motor. I noticed that the last time I took this out to weld it, it's kind of a pain to get the motor back up by yourself. You'd think just because Will's here I'd have an extra hand, but he's holding the camera. So, this is a 15 here. I'm not going to take this off this time because I'm changing the mounts and everything. So there's 2 nuts down here. Those are 13 millimeter nuts. I was able, seems like I'll be able to get them with a 13 ratchet wrench. These are the 2 that really have to come out. These 2 need to loosen up. That's going to be a 15 box end wrench and a 15 socket. So we're going to go ahead and buzz that loose and go from there. And this is just a 15 box end wrench I'm trying to get in here. There's that one. And I'm going to loosen these.
It'll be the 2 closest to the back of the motor. Closest to the motor.
Yeah, that we're just trying to loosen, just so it has enough. That's the 2 plates that I thought might have came with this, but it's probably an add-on. You know, you can pay extra for it. Those plates just sit there, and it sandwiches the motor and the motor bar together. It connects them. So now we just pop out those bolts.
Maybe those aren't even a problem. Maybe that's why it's not.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, who's to say?
Yeah, those things look, pretty thick.
Come on. Oh, that one's gonna be hard to find.
You just gotta drop everything on your skid plate.
Yep. Oops. All right, so then this is a 13 ratchet wrench, like I said. Should be able to sneak in here.
It's kind of a little bit tight in here, so we're trying to.
Well, we also got these high clearance arms.
Yeah. It's a little tight in here, so it's we're trying to do the best we can with the camera angles.
You guys get the idea. You know, you guys will see firsthand somebody doing it, which is always nice. I don't know. I really think it's helpful.
Yeah.
To see, that's what we try to do, is just show you guys, so you guys have a good idea when you guys go to do something. All right, so I think we're good on this side. I think we can move to the other side and do the same thing there, and then this thing should come out. I don't think there's going to be much weight on it. All right, guys, so you got this bottom bolt here that the socket's on. You got this other upper one here. Then you got the 2 on the bottom, again, here and here. And basically just loosen up these 2 back ones. You're going to remove these 2 down here, remove these 2 here, and that basically has it all free. Now, back here further, there is a wire, I think, for the stator. Pull that off. It's just got a little push pin. Just knock it off. I already knocked it off. Same thing with the other side. They do break easy.
It's a little tight in here, so we figured we update you guys because we're not going to be able to get a camera in here.
Alright guys, so just to make things easier, I'm going to go ahead and pull these bolts. I'm not even going to try to fish it out in one, just make my life a little easier.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, we'll go do that same thing on the other side.
And then you could always reassemble it out here.
I just don't want to fight it,
Yeah.
And now we should be able to.
Yeah, so I actually called when I called over to Sandcraft and I was talking to them about this motor mount.
So it's got like a built-in zip tie around it. So that one obviously didn't come out, and then this is where the other one's hooked up. But this is where it broke, and basically I just tried to lay it on the bench and make it sit level across, and it turned out pretty good. But I just went ahead and welded it back together, and it got us by for the time being. I mean, it's been at least 2 months. But the ends of it, the stock one, you see it's just a weld there, a weld there, and a weld there.
Yeah.
To me, that means that this end cap might have a sleeve on it. It's just slid in there so far, and then that's it. Same thing on this end, So that could be easily be another breaking point. And the reason this is a big breaking point is if you notice how short this is.
Yep, the leverage.
How long this is. A whole bunch more leverage over here. And that's why it's, you know, snapping. But
Yeah, I mean, I talked to them too over at Sandcraft, and they told me
they're
a little bit beefier.
Yeah, I mean, this one obviously is more beefier, but
A little heavier.
yeah, you can feel there's a difference. It might only be 2 or 3 pounds, but 2 pounds, but there is a difference for sure there.
When I was talking to him, I asked him about, you know, is this a common thing? And he said it's more common than you would think, you know, that people break these motor mounts. So I personally never heard of it before, but I guess they said
Well, the
it
more I
happens
dug
more.
into it, the more I found
Yeah.
that this is happening, you know, but basically these, you know, essentially the same bars. Looks like these tabs are moved into a different location if you look here. So that's the bar sitting there right next to it, and these are pointed this way and this is pointed this way. But I don't think that's a big deal either. Other than that, they look good. And from what I hear about these is, you're right around in a side-by-side. It's bumpy as it is. You don't really notice it, but supposedly you'll notice a big difference when you put these in there. I've never rode a machine that has this bar or these mounts, but from what I find is when you switch these, the motor mounts, and you get rid of the ones that are in there, your machine, driving down the road, you feel a lot less vibration. There's a lot less movement in your front drive shaft then, you know. There's a lot of things, because that's, if I remember correctly, that's like well, we got one of them right here. You can look at it. So this is a hardened rubber, okay? So this, if I stick a screwdriver in it, should flex. Yeah, I mean, you can see it flex. So that's, you know, it would be torquing on it. Whereas this one, we don't really have anything for moving. This is a lot harder of a material than this is. And they're making, you know, like high performance cars with motor mounts like this. And
Yeah.
they make it to where they don't have the
Basically, in the
motor
Fox
torque.
Body Mustang, when I went to a set of poly mounts.
Yeah, so a set of poly mounts. I mean, that's really where it's at. But this is also just a casted aluminum. This could easily break, or over time, I guess corrosion could kill this thing. This is aluminum too, but machined aluminum and casted aluminum, machined aluminum is way stronger.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I mean, there's the side-by-side comparison on that. I'm going to go ahead and, you got to use these bolts. Looks like they got a little retainer on the bottom, so I'm going to spend time off camera getting that out and getting this stuff set up. And I'm sure there's bolts in the trans mount. Well, we're going to go ahead and get the engine mount in first, and then we'll disconnect the trans. Alright, so I took the bolts out of these. They're just pushed in there like that, but then on the bottom they have a little retainer. And basically it's a pain to get it off. So I just took a pick and I jam it into here and bend it up, and then I can wrench that thing off. I do not reuse these. I'm good. I don't want nothing to do with it. But all it is it's
Just a retainer.
yeah, it's just retaining the bolt to where when you set it on there, it doesn't push back up, but you can just put your finger on it and tighten it up. It ain't the end of the world. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then they give you these washers. So there's 4 big aluminum washers, and then you got 2 steel washers. So what I'm thinking is there's 4 here, so that would be 2 and 2. And if you hold this up to this,
It's about the same.
that with these washers put it to the same width as this. So that would make sense there. So there's 4 there, or 2 there, 2 there, and then these 2
The smaller ones.
are going to be on here. And that's what makes sense, because there's 4 matching ones, 2 mounts, 4 washers. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to try to sneak this tube in there, and then we'll start getting all this stuff buttoned up. Alright guys, so we got everything buttoned up in here, tightened up. Make sure you get your 4 bolts on each side. And then you got one here, and then the 2 that go here.
Yeah, we time-lapse, that way we can get a second set of hands in there, just make life a little easier.
It does make life a lot easier to get them bolts hidden between there. So you do that, and then we're going to go ahead and move on and try to figure out how to do this transmission mount. I don't know that I need to remove my exhaust to actually get to the bolts. I'm pretty sure I could get to them, but it'd probably just make it easier to just pull 2 bolts and 2 springs, and my exhaust is off and out of the way. And then it looks like there's 3 mounts on the transmission, or 3 bolts on the transmission and 3 bolts on the mount, and we'll go from there. Guys, so we pulled the exhaust. There's 3 bolts here. They're already sliding back, but you see them there. This is your mount. This is what you're changing, but there's no way to get it out without removing the 2 side plates. You see you got 2 side plates here. You got 1 big motor mount bolt that goes through the center. You got a bolt and another bolt, and you get them all out from the passenger side. I think I have enough out of my way now to maybe slide the old mount out. There's another plate. Well, these are the plates.
Yeah.
These are the plates. That's what like sandwiches the transmission again to the mount. Yeah, so I just don't have it. So I gotta keep going with this other bolt here. Let's see.
What size was everything?
These are 13s here. 13s or yeah, 13. Yeah, these are 13 millimeter here. The big silver bolts, those are 13s. Yeah, those are 13s, and then there's one more upper that's a 13. So there's 3 bolts in total, but the big main bolt that goes through the transmission mount itself is a 15.
Gotcha.
Trying to remember all this, and then see there's your side plate. And now we should be able to slide this mount out now, I would think.
There you go.
So, and then this has got the, oh, it's broke. Look at that.
Well, I guess you broke everything with Evo power.
I mean, that's what I was talking about, though. That's just the casting just can
doesn't
break.
hold up.
We didn't even know that. We would have never known that until it completely broke.
Yeah.
So, and this is the first time. Well, this was just out when they did the trans. When did they do the trans? November?
Yeah. So it's broke recently.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have put this back in there.
Yeah.
With a bad mount. So, that's,
I wonder if one broke, maybe the front broke, and then it took out this.
Well, I'm sure, because then it could tweak. Because remember, it was tweaking like this?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this really had to grab a hold of it.
Put a number on this one as well.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's casted for you. I would say we had spare mounts, but now we have spare motor mounts, no spare.
Yeah. And even that, the bar is questionable.
Yeah, the bar is questionable, but we have been out beating it since. So
yeah, no, she's
So originally it was just cracked off right after the weld. So all I did is I just fattened this up here, all the way around.
Yeah.
To where it had more of a grab. The problem is it wasn't the weld that broke originally; it was the tube.
Yep.
The tube snapped clear off, and it could have really done some damage. Like we were out riding, and all of a sudden it just started running like crap. And we went back there, and the spark plug wire was pulled out.
Yeah.
And Will was driving around, I think, at that time. And he pulled it back over. He said, man, this thing ain't running right. So I go back there and look, and the spark plug wire was pulled out like 2 inches. So what was happening is the black plastic cover back there, the motor was come up, and the spark plug wire would grab the cover. And when the motor come back down, it would pull the plug wire
rip
up
it right out
like crap.
Yeah.
It did it. I'm like, man, that's never happened. I'm like, what we did had just done a big turbo, so I figured maybe it wasn't,
Yeah, something was misaligned or something.
Yeah, it wasn't clipped on all the way or whatever, so we went ahead and plugged her back in and kept ripping. It did it again, and then I'm looking, I'm like, man, the heat shield underneath my airbox kind of looked like bowed up, and I had just got done cleaning it, and, so I knew what it looked like from like a week or two before, And yeah, no, we rolled the machine forward and backwards, and you could see the.
Yeah, the whole thing was flexing.
I mean, it was pushing into the airbox. If a couple more hard rips, it could have easily broke the airbox, or I mean, I guess potentially even broke the turbo off. But it's pretty tight up there with mounts and whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick these clips off of here, get this out of the way, get the bolt swapped over, and we'll start showing you going back together. Alright guys, so got the new mount in here, got the hardware transferred over. They're just hand tight for now, but the plate, make sure your bolts are still all in there. We'll go ahead and I guess before I do that I should use them washers they gave. Here's the washer, got your bolt. This will be fun to line up.
You're pushing out that insert.
Oh, shoot. Now I push the bushing out. Alright, so I got my 4 bolts back in. That includes the motor mount bolt. I had to take and lift up underneath the transmission a little bit with pry bar and get it all lined up. That's why I kept pushing the bushing out. It's because trans needed lined up. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and get a ratchet and extension and just hand tighten these because I'm not going to trust the 12 volt Milwaukee on it.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, I'm going to button up my exhaust and this is done here.
Ready to send it. Alright guys, if you're looking for some quality parts, hit up Sandcraft. Got all kinds of parts for these machines. Whoa, look at that, man. You're stunting out here.
You know, you gotta be out here. These razors and all these badass things. But anyways, it's all buttoned up. In the next couple days, I'm gonna go out and take it for a rip. The last time I took it for a rip, after taking that motor mount out, like, all that has movement and play. And so when you tighten it down, I feel like after you romp on it a couple times or really get it under,
yeah, everything settles in a little bit.
It settles in, like I heard a little creak or a pop, like it was settling back down, you know. And so I'm assuming it's going to do the same thing again. So basically, I'm going to go out here and rip it up and bring it back in here and retighten everything and let it be. But the exhaust is back on, trans mount, motor bar, all that's been changed. Looks like really high quality stuff. You know, if you guys need some motor mount,
show everything.
Sandcraft makes all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and from what I've seen, all their stuff is really quality. So, really nice quality stuff. So, if you guys need something, check them out. But on another note, like, share, subscribe. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. There's lots of ways to, you know, try to help us support, keep doing this. I mean, unfortunately, it's been a lot of, like, winter builds and stuff. We just finally got some snow, and now it's 10 degrees outside, so it's really not that enjoyable. But we do have lots of stuff planned, and obviously every time you guys come back to the channel, there's something new. So we really appreciate it. And
yeah, we appreciate the support.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and our audience has grown, and you guys are awesome.
So there's the other side. Boom. Like I said, if you guys want some quality parts, there you go.
Alright, so we got some Dragonfire pass-throughs. Let me just throw that
on the ground. There you go.
Dragonfire pass-throughs. We have 2 of those. 250 cal harnesses going into the 2020.
Yep.
Turbo.
Yep.
So we're going to show you how to cut in the pass-throughs and install some harnesses.
Sounds good.